industrial strategy? One by one. Anybody?
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, competitiveness. So RODTEP has been a pending since long legitimate request of specialty steels and steel, which should be immediately started, keeping in view the hardship faced by the steel producers. Now, CBAM. At present, there is a rising tide of protectionism, and EU is very, actively pursuing it. So, Indian steel makers should be staring at the worst ever crisis as far as the export markets are concerned. We are heavily exposed on the EU market. So, there are some challenges which are state specific. In Haryana, the state government or the state regulators, they are heavily bent on selling their electricity, and which does not promote the use of green electricity off-site. So this is a big interstate or intrastate. They put in a lot of tariff on the wheeling of those electricity units. So again, it is in contravention with the state government, central government's directive. So the central government should give directive to the state to encourage investments in the renewable energy, both on or off-site, to have a common pan-India policy. So again, there is another, there was some product focus scheme introduced by the Commerce Ministry, which has been abandoned. So I would request that again, South Africa and South America, or for Asian market, the government should again start some focused market incentives so that the exporters become, more viable. And North Indian states like Haryana, we are located very far off from the seaport. So we should be, the exporters from Punjab, Haryana or Himachal, they should be given some transport subsidy if they are, exporting in the bulk. Then there is a strong case for PLI 2 for specialty and supervised and titanium for aerospace and defense and other strategic sectors. That's a huge capex and opex involved in the development of the new grades. We need PLI scheme for such activities. That's it.
Closing from your side?
Yeah, so there are two parts of the question. One is the CBAM and the trade. So I'll address both of them. Just to put the facts right on the CBAM, Indian average CO2 production is about 2.55 tons per ton of steel. In the primary sector, it goes up to 3, and in the secondary, it goes between 1.5 to 2. And the global average is at 1.85. So clearly, there is a gap of 0.7 tons, which we need to bridge. So as exporters, we need to start treating CBAM as a price for carbon and have a roadmap with PMI, etc., other schemes, renewable energy, green hydrogen, etc. Otherwise, it will just later on come as a cost to us. And on the trade aspect, at the moment, India being the number 2 global player last year was 151.4 million tons of steel, and with the projections this year, it is expected to close at 155 to 160 tons of steel. But still, for the last 2 years, we are a net importer and we are importing 9.5 tons of steel. So definitely there is a trade gap that needs to be filled. My recommendation would be a kind of a 4-5 pillar strategy, which is quality, cost, a trade defense, and a PLI scheme, as well as a steel MRV cloud. So I'll just mention a line on each of them. In terms of quality, what I mean is that strict implementation of BIS, disposal of non-compliant material, and for imports, linking the heat numbers to the BIS license maps. That brings the quality aspect. On the cost aspect, we need to really implement the steel scrap recycling policy and integrate it with the vehicle scrappage, which can be combined with the renewable energy to make it more sustainable. On the PLI aspect, the targeted PLI 2.0, as Gupta ji really emphasized, which would include green hydrogen, DRI, HDI based. Because there is clearly right now the PLI being 6,300 crores need to go up to 40,000 crores. On the trade defense, maintain the DGTR remedies as recently government put 12% safeguard duties. So those temporary measures would really help. And the last point, which is very important, is the digital infrastructure, which is a lot being talked about, is the Steel MRV cloud. So just to let people know, MRV stands for measurement, reporting and verification. So it's like a digital Aadhaar, which will really quantify the ton of carbon produced for ton of steel. And now where and why is this important? Because it is not about who is doing it, it is about how clean the steel is. And it will help Indian steel be more credible and more transparent on a global scale. So just to end the talk, for Viksit Bharat, quality is not a checklist. It is a mandate. It is a domestic mode. So if we combine BIS with carbon, measuring the carbon along with PLI, I think Indian steel can be measured on performance and origin. And we don't have to really, focus on pushing ourselves. Rather, it will be a brand that we'll present to the world.
Thank you. Tateji, last 30 seconds.
First is, I just want to say that today we are also up to the production level cost competitive even at the global measures. The challenges starts subsequent going from the plant to the customer side. So logistic aspects is there wherein we are still having logistic cost much higher than other countries. So I need to remain cost competitive because that is finally the mantra for and especially for sector like us wherein the export market is going to be the big market because all engineering exports we are our steel is used in all engineering exports. So we need to adapt new technologies, we need to adapt the AI to the extent wherever possible. Digitization is again very important part which we need to adapt as soon as possible because these are certain new things which we have to adapt to become cost competitive. And as regards CBM is concerned, fortunately, our sector which is using more of a recycled material, there is no much of a challenge we foresee even in the export market because recycled material is used and even on the energy side also, major focus is there on the uses of the non-fossil or solar energy. So that will take care certainly this CBM issue. The only thing is the opportunities should again be opened up in the export market where certainly the right FTAs are required so that we can leverage whatever strength we are having.
Thank you. Generally 30 seconds.
I think almost every point has already been covered and rightly what Mr. Tatia has talked about. The difference in outside the factory gate. Within the factory gate, we are one of the cheapest producers in the world. That has been recognized by World Steel Dynamics. Their report is very clear on that we are cheaper than even China and so many, because India has definite advantages. Outside the factory gate, NITI Aayog has already recognized $80 to $100 we incurred outside the factory gate, and that makes us uncompetitive even in domestic area compared to the imports, and we subsume 6 to 12%. We subsume cost. We subsume. What I would say that like CBAM, what they have done, there is a carbon cost which is $75. They are not replacing a ton of carbon with 1 ton of carbon. They are saying my cost of carbon has to be replaced, $7,500 per ton of carbon, you pay me now. So when I am incurring 6 to 12% because of higher, double taxation on royalty, that should be also recovered from the imports. So similar kind of countervailing should be there of any import to the extent of whatever I have incurred in India because I am producing in this country. And therefore that should be countervailed. So first level playing field. I am not talking of freight, we can't do that. That calculation is not possible, but levies and taxes at least, electricity duty, there are so many things which are not subsumed in GST that should be levied on any import which is arriving. And secondly, that is level playing field. Most important for the industry, for the steel industry or for the country to recognize is, Honorable PM has talked about Atmanirbharta. Now where we draw a line, what is Atmanirbharta? Is Atmanirbharta in steel Atmanirbharta? Or is it Atmanirbharta in finished material is Atmanirbharta? Or is it only in the iron ore Atmanirbharta is Atmanirbharta? Once that line is drawn, then policies would circulate around that. Today we are talking of Atmanirbharta. Tomorrow we say that no, steel is impacting the downstream, so remove all the barriers. The world is putting barriers of 50%, 25%, India has no barrier. Now even 12% is actually low rate because the day the final duty is levied, after that you will see imports would start coming up in big way because there is a duty of 50% in US, it is coming 50% in Europe, there will be diversion. So that is another thing. Then we must recognize all the ways to wealth, like all kind of the way we reduce our fossil fuel. So all kind of such energy transition should be recognized, and we should not levy, because we generate at one place, but my plants are in different locations. So don't charge me for transmitting energy from one place to another, so that more and more people are encouraged to produce in bulk at one place the renewable energy. These are some of the thoughts. There are so many things we can't keep talking about.
Thank you, sir. I think lots of good thought-provoking views. Now we should have more views from the esteemed audience.
October 2025. RBI Bulletin, October 2025 says 2 points. One, cheap steel imports are hurting Indian domestic producers and outgo foreign exchange need. Urges broader policy support for competitiveness. Now, dual certificate steel and steel imports suspended till 31st December 2025. It was introduced to implement 13 June 2025, then extended to 6 October 2025, then to 31st December 25, and no one knows maybe further. Because no SOP, no guidance till now, this is November started, till now has been issued. What to do, we are after.
I believe that the right representation goes to the right authorities. Thank you for that.
I am Varun from Jindal Steelers. So this question is to Mr. Sahai and Mr. Karthik. Mr. Modi has just announced a 1 lakh crore R&D and innovation scheme in NC 2025 for emerging science, technology and innovation. Now since morning we are talking about QCO, BIS, FTAs and all these things, and there are new technologies which are coming up for decarbonize like hydrogen, SAF, carbon capture. So my question to Mr. Sai is, what should be 3 top priorities for Viksit Bharat to come up to a level of an innovator, rather than we talking about putting up protection or barriers or all those things?
So let's take example of CRGO. We are investing, one of our member companies investing, and if I know correctly, and I know it from reports from press, a few thousand crore is being invested just for one product and one technology. Now, if we invest, then immediately the other geographies or other producers who have surplus availability in that category, they'll start pumping at cheap, at a low price. They will not survive. So and they also seek that we will not be following the BIS specification. Not only, it will not end with only that they will be supplying steel without any monitoring. They don't want any BIS certification to be taken. That means we are at two different levels. They follow some other norms and we follow BIS strict compliance. Now, this is something which needs to be arrested so that, and it has to be announced for next 10 years or assured in writing that you will produce, innovate, and you will be supported. I'm not saying anybody should make extra profit, because if one is given that assurance, then two more will come up with production. Because market, people have money to invest wherever there is a better profit. So others will also invest. So this is one. Then there are, in terms of hydrogen, in terms of other technology, we have to have very strong copyright, trademark, trade laws, which supports any innovation, and people are duly regarded, which is where there are a lot of loopholes. We have to adopt those practices so that we, this is the second important thing which I think. The third thing is how to bring the seed money. Should only the private players invest, or there should be corresponding government investment? So I think that government has to take a call that certain amount, in case you invest say 60, I am there to give 40, or you put 70, I will put 30, then there is stake of both government and private players, and then even government will start thinking, I have 30 at stake. So, I have to ensure that my money is not wasted. So these are the three things, when you talk about three things, these are the top three things I come into mind.